It's a great day, my amazing CEOs. Thank you for welcoming me into your home this morning or on your smart device, or perhaps right now you're listening to the podcast and we're in your ears, or maybe we're just playing in the background, by the way. Unless we're on your big screen TV, we appreciate it. Welcome to the CEO Sales Huddle. I promise this will be a good use of your time. In 1939, a blind man named Morris Frank had a problem. And the problem he faced was his dog was really, really sick, by the way. And he was suffering because, well, he had a poor diet. Now, one of the things that Morris decided to do, he said, you know what? I'm not going to let my dog go out like that in so many words. I'm going to do something about it. I'm going to find a way to fix this problem. So he teamed up with his veterinarian, Dr. Mark Morris Sr., that was his name, sorry, to find an issue. And they discovered the dog's problem was related to their health. So one of the things that Dr. Morris said is, let me step back. Let me look at the symptoms that he has. Let me look at the problem that he's had. And let's see if we can create something that will help him. Like maybe create a diet that will make his life much better and make him feel good and actually make the dog healthy. Hence, this led to the creation of Hill's Science Diet, a brand, well, it's now trusted by dog and pet owners all over the world, by the way. And Dr. Morris Sr. knew that he would make a difference. He said, I feel it, I know it, because this solution that we put together, I've got to make sure while it's working for Morris's dog, he had to make sure that it was scientifically backed by research. So he decided to step back. He had to slow down to speed up. And by focusing on the right ingredients, focusing on the right vitamins, and really creating really a pet food that made that pet healthier by eating the food than it did when it started, he said, we've got something now. Now we've got quality. We've got something different. And one of the takeaways that you can have as a CEO this morning as you're tuning in is when you focus on understanding your customer needs, when you focus on the problem that you're solving, not trying to sell them, but truly in your heart, the problem that you're solving that can help make their life better, then it's much easier to go back and develop a sales strategy and a sales message. Just like Hill's Science Diet, they developed a scientific profile. They took them through a process. And in doing so, then they could offer the diet directly to the pet owner. Woo, what a big takeaway. Testing, adapting, and having a sales strategy, or in this case, having a strategy and a message that map directly. So my big takeaway for you this morning is really twofold. Number one, have a solid sales system, but you have to go backwards first. You have to make sure it's not just something you want to sell someone. You're not going to say, well, I just want to sell them this. No, you got to look at their problem, look at the solution, be able to diagnose the problem, and then in doing so, say, this is step-by-step how we can help you, which is your sales message. You do that, woo, just like Hill's Science Food, you will see your sales go up, 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 and away. With that being said, my name, by the way, is Shay Brown, host of the CEO Sales Huddle. It is an honor and a privilege to be here with you this morning. I can't wait. And every single morning, we like to get started the exact same way. And one of the ways we get started is making sure we focus on sales. In fact, that is our whole mantra. Our mantra is focus on sales. Our mantra is focus on sales. Our mantra as a CEO is what? Focus on sales. Matter of fact, repeat these words after me. If you can't focus on sales, you can't be in business. Why? Because sales is the oxygen for every great business in history. And without sales, there's always more money going out than there is coming in. What's the point I want to make? The point I want to make is that selling at the end of the day is really serious business. It's really serious business. Now, after we go over our mantra, we like to step back and say, okay, what do we need to do as the CEO? What is our pledge to the sales department? And we have a pledge to the sales department that we're going to do every single morning. And that pledge, in my opinion, is very, very important. That pledge is learn, earn, and return. I want you to repeat after me. I have to learn something new in order to earn new revenue from existing clients in order to get new and old clients to return. So I must learn, I must earn, and I must what? Return. Doesn't that sound great? Isn't that just amazing, by the way? And then as you learn, earn, and return, you say, well, why are we here every day? Why are we here? We're here because we have a couple of things to talk about. Number one, it's about our objectives. Our objectives are threefold every single morning. It's about sales progress. It's about addressing any roadblocks. There was a lot of dog food out there, by the way. We had a case study this morning. They could have picked anywhere, but they had to be unique. They had to be different. And then it's about understanding the 5 sales pillars that every CEO must know and understand in order to be profitable. Sales pillar number 1 is you must have a one-page CEO sales plan. So you got to have a one-page CEO sales plan to make it simple. Number 2, you must understand your customer sales cycle. Number 3, you must have a sales message. Number 4, well, we go into a whole segment on this. The whole segment on this is really the CEO sales dashboard. I can't wait to get to that. And then you must have a sales team. I mean, even if you are the number 1 salesperson that's selling for your organization, you must have a what? Sales team. Now, for those folks who tune in every single morning, it is an honor and a privilege to serve you. You can look right below the video, and you can put hashtag I'm here. Now, hashtag I'm here, if you're on the social media platforms, is a way of saying that you're here in the conversation, that you showed up this morning, or you can hit hashtag replay. It's a way to connect because you can see me, but I can't see you out there. Or maybe as you're listening right now, you're thinking, no, Shay, I need to connect with you. We need to connect. Go over to @IamChayBrown. If Instagram is your jam, let's connect over at @IamChayBrown. Drop me a DM. Let me know what you're enjoying most about it. I respond to every comment, by the way. And if you haven't, and you need to go back and look at some of the old prior ones, you can go to YouTube. Every morning we're there on YouTube, streaming right there over at @IamChayBrown. Let's connect. Let's stay in this conversation. CEO Sales Huddle is a place that CEOs gather, because we get asked this question all the time, to understand how to sell more faster. And we have really 3 big whys. And these big whys are what drives us, is what keeps us going. It's the reason that we show up every single morning. And number 1, it's about sales accountability. And you may have heard this before. We'll often do more for others than we'll do for ourselves. It's about sales consistency, and it's about sales growth. At the end of the day, it's about growing the business as we move forward. And we only ask for 15 minutes a day when you show up. Now, why is it just 15 minutes a day? Because if you think about it, there are 1,440 minutes in every day. Never 1,441. So you get to step back and you get to share 1% of your day. Then you think about that 1% of your day to focus on the one area that drives revenue, 1% of your day to focus on you realizing your dreams, 1% of your day to focus on the one area that will give you financial freedom, that will allow you to skyrocket and solve so many problems and make a big difference in the world. And what is our number 1 outcome? Our number 1 outcome of showing up every single day is $100,000 a month of consistent, predictable, reliable revenue. And this is over and beyond whatever you earn today. You earn an extra $100,000 per month because you're in this conversation, and you're in this conversation around sales, you're in this conversation around success. And when you're in this conversation around sales and success, these ideas are top of mind to you. And when they're top of mind to you, guess what you're likely to do? Well, you're more likely to perform. That's the bottom line. Now, you might be saying, okay, Shay, well, how do I get to $100,000? Like, seriously. And this question comes up. Like, you're not alone. It's probably one of the top 3 questions I get asked. Like, really, how do you get to $100,000 a month? And we had to answer this question for our private clients. And we were working with our private clients over the years. We started coming up with a formula. We started measuring a couple of categories. And you may have heard this before, but it's certainly one of our mantras. What gets measured gets managed. What gets managed gets better. So we said, let's look at these 5 categories. And the 5 categories we created was something called the CEO Sales Dashboard, which is something you can download. There's no cost. It's my gift to you. The CEO Sales Dashboard is we measure leads, appointments, offers, deals, and repeat business. So we have 5 categories that we focus on. 5 categories. How many categories are we talking about? 5 categories. And you go over to www.ceosalesdashboard.com and download it. Download the Excel sheet now. You go ahead and download it. And I'm going to go ahead and pull it up because this is the one document, the one formula that you can have in your business of everything you could do. If you said, Shay, I need to start over again, I would say, okay, number 1, let's adopt a sales philosophy. And the philosophy is what gets measured gets managed. What gets managed gets better. Number 2, download the CEO Sales Dashboard. And let's focus on 5 categories. Number 1 is leads. Number 2 is appointments. Now, When you download this, you can customize this as an Excel sheet. But today, you go all the way across the top and you find today's date. And then once you find today's date, you come down and I want you to start looking at the leads that have come in and how many leads came in your database. Then go look at another category, how many appointments were set and run. Now, you can even create a category for your premium products, number product 1 and product 2. The one you're putting all the energy in because, it's the rule of, we know that the Pareto principle, right? 20% of your activities produce 80% of your revenue. So probably 2 or 3 of your products are producing most of the revenue anyway. And then when you step back and you look at it from that perspective, you say, okay, let me go ahead and look at how many leads came in yesterday. How many leads came in over the last week? How many leads or how many offers did we make over the last month? And if you've been doing this every single month, because some of you do this every morning. And then others of you show up and you're like, no, I'm not doing this, Shay. My assistant does it or someone else does it for you. It doesn't matter. It gets done. Now, let's now move to another area. Look at leads. Let's just look at leads for just a second. And inside of leads, how many leads came in that were new to your CRM yesterday? So all your marketing, all your branding, all your efforts were put into just yesterday's results. How many leads came in yesterday? Then how many leads came in the day before? And then of those leads that came in, how many of those leads were engaged leads? Meaning maybe they had a meeting with someone on your team. Maybe they watched the webinar. Perhaps they downloaded a free gift. Whatever engagement looks like for you. And then how many were referrals and how many were qualified? Now, I want you to follow me along. What gets measured gets managed. What gets managed gets better. And that's where our focus is. But we're not going to stop there. We're also going to say, no, let's celebrate some wins. Powerful people ask powerful questions. Why? Because questions steer focus. And in this life, you get what? Exactly what you focus on. So let's go over now and let's look at focusing on a couple areas. Number one, what are you most proud of? What was your biggest accomplishment yesterday? Now, this is just in the sales department. You can apply it to any area of life, but I want you just to apply it to the sales department. And then what do you want to brag about? Like if I could bring you on here right now, I could bring you on here right now and you could just brag. You could just come on here and you could just brag and say, Shay, I just want to brag. That's all I want to do is brag. What do you really, really, really want to brag about? Isn't that important? And then we're going to look at obstacles. Because we know every day is not cupcakes, unicorns, and rainbows. We're going to say, okay, what were some of our biggest roadblocks? Now, you think about the sales department, think about yesterday. What were some of the biggest roadblocks you had just in the sales department yesterday? And then let's just be honest with ourselves. And let's step back and look at what's preventing you today from moving forward. Like you look at the sales department, you want the sales department to move forward. What's the one thing that's holding you back? And then as a CEO, you look at what's holding you back, but what's the one thing you can do? That only you could do, that if you did it, it could move the business forward. It could just shift the trajectory of the business. Here's my message of the day, because the message of the day is very important. The message of the day is focus on lead generation. If there's a shortage in the business and revenue, there's a shortage in the business in the area of appointments, there's a shortage in the business in the area of making more offers, if there's a shortage in the business right now of you being able to get more deals done, then let's focus on leads. Let's put the energy in bringing in people who have a problem, buying into the philosophy that we have for the sales department, that people will pay you today if you help them solve a problem today. So I'm only going to ask that you're in a problem-solving business. You do that, that's my message of the day. You do that, that's my message of the day. You do that, and you will see your sales go up, 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 in a way. With that being said, my name, by the way, is Shay Brown, host of the CEO Sales Huddle. Make it a great day, everyone. It's been an honor and a privilege to serve you, to be in your homes, on your laptops, on your computers, on your podcast, listen to you in your ears. We appreciate you, and I'll see you on the other side. God bless, and in the day, keep doing God's work. See you on the other side. Peace.